So today I got John Carlson from Carlson Chevrolet. In the spirit of transparency, I am a minority partner in this dealership. I have not done a testimonial video with John because I'm a minority partner. I thought it wasn't fair, but maybe it is fair. John runs the day-to-day at the dealership. I'm in Colorado. John runs the store. I don't really get involved on the business side of the dealership. I'm just a minority silent partner that's, for all intents and purposes, just a vendor for John. But John has been using TECOBI at Carlson Chevrolet for, I think, 5 years now. It's coming up on 5 years. Is that right?
Yeah, since day one, really, since day one.
And so there's a couple things here. You run a lot of Facebook ads, so you have a lot of insight on that. And then you use the AI pretty heavily to help manage lead follow-up. I guess let's talk about the artificial intelligence first. It is the big buzzword right now. So I think everyone and their brother is now an AI expert. But I've been doing this AI thing for long before most of these guys even were talking about it. So give
Yeah,
me some insights. Go ahead.
I mean, you had AI in here with us, like when we barely even knew about AI. When OpenAI first came out, when ChatGPT first came out, you were using it. You had it working there for us. And I get hammered with these guys for come use their AI provider. I mean, even the DMSs now have AI in there. But I don't think any of them really understand it. When the salespeople come out and try and pitch it to me, they don't really understand it. Like when I talk to you, I think I understand AI. When I talk to you, I realize I don't. I mean, frankly, you've been using it for a couple of years. You've had AI in here on the system with us, helping us, and it's made a difference.
What kind of difference has it made?
Well, it follows up with customers when, frankly, no one else is following up. I mean, the Facebook leads, I love Facebook ads, but they're high funnel leads. And I know a lot of dealers who don't like them and cancel them because the closing ratio is not going to be as high as, say, someone who's out there looking for a car right now, right? I mean, they do start way out, but there's two things it does for us that's very important. It's name recognition. People see Carlson Chevrolet. I mean, we do create videos that get people's attention. They see it. They put a link. They might ask about a car. But we collect leads from people. Sometimes they're not in the market in the next 90 days, right? Salesperson works them for a little bit. They ghost us quite a bit. But the AI keeps up with them, right? The two, you have the Autobots, where I can go in and adjust the prompt a little bit if I want. And frankly, I wish, I would like to spend some more time doing that. I can get that a little more the way we want sometime. You allow us to go in and adjust the prompt there on the Autobots, right? You give us that. I mean, I'm sure it won't let us do anything stupid. I don't know. I haven't tried yet. Let's see what
it will let you do some stupid stuff with a little bit of guardrails.
You got to be careful, right? You got to be careful. But I like that I have the control over that. But the response bot, that's the one that probably I shouldn't have as much control over, that you're managing with your experience in AI, because it's sometimes I think AI is smarter than it is, but it's kind of dumb. And it takes stuff literally, even though it's much smarter than I am. But it's a different beast. And I think that's where a lot of these guys miss it. They don't really know what's going on with AI. And if you don't, and you just throw a model in there and let them go, you're gonna get some weird responses, if anything. I mean, if it's even gonna work, I don't know. I can't imagine the guys at some of these vendors, Bin Solutions or DealerTrack, really know what to do with it.
Yeah, that's probably the best way to explain the feedback that I'm getting from dealers with the AI that's integrated into the CRM, is they just kind of don't know what to do with it in the traditional CRM process. I think TECOBI and the queuing system that we have was kind of like a perfect fit for AI, because I always make the statement that the AI is the easy part. Anyone can go sign up on ChatGPT and use their API, like it's open to the world. The harder part is the humans, and getting the humans to do their part in the equation. And that's what the queuing system that TECOBI already had pre-AI kind of did, was give the humans some kind of direction on what they need to be working on right now.
Yeah, I mean, you had the Autobots in there. They weren't driven by AI, but they were giving out responses before there was AI, right? The Autobots were in there.
Hey, it was static responses. They weren't really dynamic to the conversation, but it was kind of like the process that AI got attached to already existed before AI came into the equation. And I don't think the traditional CRMs are going to be able to figure that out, just because it is such a big difference in the way we communicate with people, that one message could be from John, one message could be from
Right.
Alonzo, the next message is from this AI, the next message is from this AI. It's not that one-to-one communication that CRMs are built for. And really, to keep up with the level of communication that we have at the dealership, it's got to be that way, because I think we're pacing probably 200 active conversations today that we're going to have with customers at a
Right.
small rural Chevy dealership in Red Springs, town of 3,000
Too much.
people.
We're small and rural, but we're tough.
Yeah. So, but the town's small and the area is small, and to engage 200 to 300 people per day is a feat. It's
Yeah,
especially with it.
I don't have the sales force to do that without AI's help, and
Yeah,
that's really what it does. It
there'd be a
exponentially
physical
grows my sales force.
impossibility in the dealership. And you mentioned Facebook ads. I think a lot of dealerships really struggle with Facebook leads because they are higher funnel. They are a large volume. They're mixed credit, so there's good and bad credit. It's not like a car guru lead where you just got the lowest price and the customer wants to know the out the door
Right.
number. It's a different type of shopper, and most dealers struggle with that in a traditional CRM process, because they can't follow up long enough. I think when we mystery shop.
I mean, and you can't really blame them the way they're designed. They're not. It's not in their interest to stick on those. You spend a lot of time as an individual, as a person, following up with a Facebook lead, and you only get paid when you sell something. Those are after working those for a little bit, you're gonna start pushing those to the side. If I'm a BDC rep, so really, what makes it work is my guys. It doesn't do us any good, and it also doesn't do us any good to have my better salespeople working on these high funnel leads for 90 days and all the time it takes until the customer re-engages and the AI gets a signal from them that they're ready to go, which really is mainly just re-engagement, a price asking question or something. It's been hitting them up, having a few conversations with them. Customer re-engages, then it's time for a manager to jump in and reassign the lead to, at least in our process, a manager to jump in and reassign the lead to someone who can work it. They're back alive. And sometimes those leads are, we haven't had real interaction with them for 90 days. Sometimes it's 2 years ago was the last time we had a real interaction from them, but they're in our system. We're staying in front of them with the machine, with the AI, and now they are in the market, and it's a lead from 2 years ago, and we have an advantage because we've been in front of them the whole time. And that's what the Autobots do with the adjustments that we make, and then the response bot, which comes in a little bit smarter, and talks to them a little more about how we want the car deal to go, right? And then back to the big guys doing this. I think what they're missing and what they're not going to have is they're not going to have your team and you in there doing it, because I can make an adjustment. I can call support, and we can make an adjustment to the way that these things are going, or we can adjust the Autobots, and they're going to move it. I mean, I think if you try my experiences with e-leads and bin solutions and drives, the guys like that, they're going to hire great developers probably to come in there and program the AI, but the sales force and the people talking to the dealership they're going to have less knowledge about it than the salespeople working the customer, right? It's not like you're dealing directly with the people who are doing the programming, or you're one level away. You're 3 or 4 levels away.
Yeah, and that's the difference between, and that's, a lot of people see us as a small company, but we've got about 600 active dealers around the country, so we're not tiny. But I stay in the sales position because I don't think I can build a sales product without actually being a salesperson. A lot of people ask me, Jason, why are you the CEO? Why are you doing the sales? Well, I have to have my hands on that AI to be able to mold it into what is going to be the best result for me and for my clients. And I think that's the disconnect with a lot of these systems is you have developers, you have executives, they're all trying to make decisions on how the AI is supposed to work and what it's supposed to do, but they aren't hands-on with the actual sales process and watching what the AI is actually doing. You got to go through 4 or 5 different levels of people to actually get the feedback from the dealer itself, and then it's convoluted because the salesman's complaining, and He's just being a normal salesman that's going to complain about anything, and then you're taking
They know
that
exactly.
as legitimate feedback as opposed to
Right.
actually physically seeing what it's doing because you're in there using the AI. And we talked about the Facebook ads, but um, I think that that's a pretty big discussion, outside of the AI, because I was about to give up on Facebook leads, to be honest.
Yeah, I remember.
It was tough because I'd find dealers that were willing to grind on them, but it was 1 out of 10, 1 out of 20 dealerships that were willing to grind on those Facebook leads or had the staff or resources to grind on them. And But I knew there was car deals in it, and it wasn't until maybe the last 6 to 12 months that I've started to see the AI actually take that workload off of the staff. Because as you said, as a salesman, when I traveled the country to see why dealers couldn't convert those leads, I saw other salespeople and what their daily work looked like. And I saw that they had 5 customers come in today. They had heat cases all over the place. And I
Right.
couldn't sit there and realistically ask them to grind on 400 Facebook leads, to find the one car deal in hundreds of Facebook leads. So if it wasn't for the AI, I probably wouldn't even say Facebook leads are good. But now with the AI, it kind of automates the whole thing, and we only need the salespeople to get engaged. When the customer's actually raising their hand again.
Right.
Um,
I mean,
and at this point,
that's the whole beauty of it. That's what makes it work.
yeah, it is. And I kind of did that before the AI because we were blasting and it kind of
Right.
removed some of the workload. But the AI just kind of came in and made it so these Facebook and Instagram leads are a gold mine, to be quite honest. I mean, I was looking at some reports with these dealers making 12, 13x ROI on the leads that they're generating through Facebook, which is pretty good ROIs considering how expensive, in-market shopper leads are and how much, dealers are having to drop prices to get leads off those third-party lead sites. But I was looking at a deal today because it's not just the Facebook leads, John. A deal today, I
I
think
agree.
it got marked sold today. I don't know if it was actually sold today, but it got marked sold today with Gerald Locklear. Um,
Okay.
this is actually a 1,600 day old lead that was manually entered on 12/7 of 2021. And TECOBI followed up for 5 years across 164 touch points on this particular lead. And it was a manually entered lead from 2021.
Yeah, and he did, and we did sell him a car today. We sold him a used Ram.
Yeah, so you got them to use RAM, and that's a follow up from TECOBI where we followed up with that lead for 5 years and then eventually re-engaged them and got them in 5 years later. So
No, I mean
it's
that's where it fills in. It's the force multiplier, right? To use a military term, it's a force multiplier. It keeps. I don't have the staff to stay in touch. We couldn't have the staff to stay in touch, and I don't really care how many cars you're selling. You can't really. It doesn't make sense to have the staff to stay in touch in front of every customer you've ever gotten since you've been open all the
Mhm.
time. Doesn't make sense. But the AI it's not a human being. It's a machine, and it can stay in front. And you got to make sure you're not going wild on your responses. Sometimes I might try and get too aggressive. So you got to keep it in line, and you'll keep me in line. Sometimes you don't let me go as wild as I want to, which helps, and your guys keep me in line, and that's what makes it work. And I got a message in front of the customer forever until they tell us to stop. Right, until they tell us to stop, which is the other part that you guys do, which is important, and it's the compliance. What is it? The TCPA, is that the right?
Yeah, so the TCPA compliance, we've actually made a big push in compliance this year. I don't know if you know everything that we're doing on your account, so I'll go over it.
Please.
But first, there's your normal opt-outs, which are stop, cancel, unsubscribe, quit. That's what most CRMs cover is going to be the hard opt-outs. Then we have AI assisted opt-outs. So if the customer starts saying things that sounds like they might opt out, we soft opt out the customer. And that helps 2 ways. It helps with compliance because if the customer says screw you, stop contacting me, that's the same thing as stop. But it also helps with delivery rates because the carriers don't see that, and the carriers will start filtering you if they see that stop, cancel, or unsubscribe. So if we can catch that earlier in the conversation, then we can stop the carrier from seeing it, and that helps our text messages make it to more people. It keeps our opt-out rates down to the carriers, which right now I think you're sustaining about a 0.2% opt-out rate.
Right.
Then there's a couple of other things that we protect you on. So there's quiet hours. You're not allowed to send marketing messages during quiet hours. So if the AI detects a message as marketing during quiet hours, it pauses it and sends it the next day. And then there's reassigned number checks. So this is the one area that I would become, I'd get my mega yacht, to be quite honest, if I was a snaky attorney,
Right.
because I could find a class action lawsuit in every dealership in this country within an hour. If I
Right.
was a sneaky attorney, because this is the one place that I would find it. If I give you my phone number and I give you permission to contact me, and then I get rid of that phone number, and someone else gets that phone number, and the carriers will recycle them every 90 days or so once someone drops their phone number, you do not have permission to contact that new person. Well, dealers are constantly printing a list, having their team call and message the list and contact the list that are old lists that they're trying to go through when it's slow. And there's tons of reassigned numbers inside of that list that didn't belong to the original person. And within an hour, I could come find class action lawsuits. Sorry, dealers, start paying attention to compliance. So part of what we do is we check for
And Jason, that's not something in theory too. There's guys out there doing that. I mean, I've seen on a little bit on social media, like people YouTube. There's a couple of videos out there on how to go get rich from unscrupulous businesses, especially dealerships. They're out there,
Yep.
and they'll
They're
tell
actually
you,
running ads.
yeah,
The attorneys are running ads to
how
find
to make quick
customers
money, right?
that are purposely changing their phone number, letting the number get reassigned, and purposely sending messages, sending requests during quiet hours. They're purposely trying to set up dealers. But then we also have another one beside the reassigned number check, that we have a known litigator database. Speaking of these guys,
Right.
so we're keeping track of your phone numbers. Yes, you attorneys that might watch this, we are keeping a list of yours and your clients' phone numbers, and we're stopping communication to you because we don't want you to set up our clients and cost them money. So those are some of the protections that we have on the TCPA. And I don't think a lot of dealers take that seriously enough. Every dealership, whether you like it or not, is having to text message communicate with customers more. Most dealerships, the salespeople are doing it through their personal devices because the texting platforms and the CRM are such garbage. And it's a lot of compliance issues that they have that we take extra.
It's terrifying, and I think some dealers are starting to get the message they should be terrified. If not, they need to look. And it's not that you need to be terrified. You just need to because TECOBI works. I'm able to have my service department use it, my finance department use it, my sales department use it. It's because, like what you said, you get salespeople will get on their personal phone and they'll start texting, and the customer will tell them. And this is the part that scares me. This is why I have all the employees on TECOBI, and TECOBI works, and that's why we can do that. But the salesperson will text the customer. He'll be talking to him on a cell phone. The customer says, "Hey, stop texting me. I don't want to do the deal." He's not opted out of the text system through our DMS, through Tekion. He's not opted out of TECOBI. He's not opted out of anywhere. Right. That's why you have to manage part of the process we have to do on our end is make sure that they're only using the tool to talk to customers, because when they go outside the tool, right, that's where you can get in trouble. And it's just like anything else. I mean, it's very easy to manage your people. The tool just has to work, right? For salespeople especially, it just has to work.
It just has to produce results.
Coverage,
yeah,
right?
If it produces results, they'll use it. If it doesn't produce results, they won't use it. It's that simple. Right. And I mean, we can't blame them. That you wouldn't be a good salesperson if it was any other way. We got to stop.
We
got to stop expecting them to do things that salespeople won't do. It's like the texting in the CRM is not very good, and it doesn't generate car deals for you, and it's not following up for you. The thing about TECOBI is you get a pipeline in there. Like I was looking at Alonzo. I was in there doing a demo today, and I happened to like a car on my lead while I was in the demo, and within 20 seconds, Alonzo was in my lead, like, "Hey, I can help you with that car." And Alonzo's the longest standing salesperson we have. I think he's been there pretty much the whole time we've been open. And he sells a lot of cars. Alonzo's doing really well right now. But he's got a huge pipeline built up inside of TECOBI. And that pipeline will just drop car deals in Alonzo's lap. It's just boom, here's a car deal, here's a car deal. And Alonzo doesn't really have to do anything.
Yeah, I mean, that's the number one. That's the that's the number one. Whenever you have the salesperson who doesn't sell as much and he complains and he points to Alonzo and he goes, "Well, and he just has leads coming in," and well, yeah, he's been here for 4 years and the AI stays in front of him. And then Alonzo's very good. He knows how to work it when it engages, because we don't automatically give him the deal. I don't believe in that kind of coverage. but he gets the first chance to respond to him, right? So if AI re-engages and he's got a chance to re-engage him. If he doesn't re-engage him right away, it goes out to someone else. But he does. He's good at it. He stays in front of it, and then he just starts another conversation. You know, someone re-engages, it goes to Alonso, he responds, and he's got coverage, and he starts working the lead. And he does a good job of it once he gets it, too. I don't want to take anything away from him. He does a really good job with what he gets, and he works hard.
And that pipeline really helps for the retention, because it would, if Alonso was to leave that pipeline, he would not be able to sell the number of cars that he's selling right now. It would take a very long time.
His name's in front of his customer. He sells someone a car or he talks to someone, his name's in front of the customer forever until they tell him to stop, which for him, I mean, I guarantee you he loves it. I mean, I know he does because he talks about it. So, you know, the leads stay there, and the leads stay in his name, and it says, hey, it's Alonso from Carlson Chevrolet, you know, as long as he stays here. And that's, you know, that's what I tell some of the guys. I mean, you stay here for 5 years like Alonso's been, and yeah, you're gonna have customers come back and ask for you, especially if you use the tool set, the right statuses, which we've worked with Alonso on, and we had to give him a few lessons on that, right? But you put the customer in the right status, and the Autobots will stay in front of them, and your name's in front of them, and you get a chance, you know, as long as you still stay here, which, you know, the goal of some of these guys, some people want to move up, some people want to stay in the same store for 20 years and make a nice living selling 25 cars a month like Alonso does. I mean, he sells 25 cars a month. He's a big part of our production, and he does a good job. And the customers, the follow-up's done. The long-term follow-up is done for him. Makes it easy for him.
Yeah, it does. So I think just a quick thing on results, because we are getting a little long here. I don't know if everyone's going to watch a 48-minute video. This store was a very small store when you bought it. It was your first store that you bought. You ran stores. You've been a general manager. You've worked the desk. You've been a salesman. You've been in the car business your whole life. You've worked for Pat Hickey. I mean, you've been doing this a long time. You can tell by your desk and your hair that you are a car dealer at heart. And your commercials. I can tell by your commercials that you are.
Those are high quality commercials, Jason. If
you look in the encyclopedia at Car Dealer, there's going to be a picture of John Carlson there. So when you bought the store, what kind of volume was it doing?
He was doing 20 cars, maybe 30. He wasn't doing much.
Yeah, it was probably 5 new at most. Very, very few new.
Yeah, he liked selling used cars. He liked selling really nice cars, and, you know, he liked everything buttoned up, and, you know, he was doing okay. I mean, he could afford to do that.
Yeah.
He wasn't pushing for volume. That's not what he wanted.
And right now we're hitting somewhere between 80 and 110 each month.
Right.
And I think on new, this was a tier 3 Chevy store when you bought it. So new allocation was pretty rough. The first couple of years, it was really tough to get cars. I think in 24 or maybe, I think 24, you bought a bunch of Malibus out of New Jersey. I think that's what I think it was 24. You bought a bunch of Malibus.
Not just New Jersey. I think the whole country. I bought every Malibu I could buy.
Yeah, he bought every Malibu you could, and we turned those Malibus. And in 24, we reached I think it was 200 and something or 300 new cars that we had to sell that
300 cars, almost 300 new.
Almost 300, and then they moved us to a tier 2 store in 25. Right. So we're actually in our halfway through the second year as a tier 2 store. We're finally getting some trucks. I think you have a bunch of 2500 sitting on the lot, which is nice.
That is nice. We need to move them though. They're big units.
Yeah, but you're finally getting them.
I owe 25 or 30 of them on the ground right now.
Yeah, because
and we've done that. We're 150% efficient, right? I think we're 160% sales efficient the last quarter. Which, you know, our CSI is good. Our sales efficiency is great, and, you know, you do that with the factory, and they'll help.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think the past couple months we've been first and second based on percentage of objective in a tier 2 region, which is tough because we're up against some pretty big stores that are.
Yeah, we have tier 1 dealers in our zone. I mean, we have over 100. You know, we have guys who sell. You know, they're in middle of downtown Raleigh, middle of Wilmington. They do a great job. I'm not taking anything away from them, but they're big city stores. And they're not out here in the country. No. They're Robinson County, North Carolina.
Yeah, there's not even food in that town. So I always say, God bless John Clark, because I can't do it. I went out there and I made it about 2 weeks before I had to come home. You
didn't like Dairy Ranch? Dairy Ranch has got great burgers, man. They're great. I love Dairy Ranch.
No,
shorten my life with all the you know, it's tasty. It's tasty.
I think you have sold yourself. I think you forgot what San Diego food tastes like. So, but yeah, I appreciate you
On
getting on
purpose.
here,
On
John.
purpose.
Yeah. I appreciate you getting on here.
Sure.
Let's get this store. I mean, we have plans to possibly get this to, you know, another 40, 50 new cars out of this location, in the middle of nowhere.
We're going to do it. We have plans, and they will go through. I mean, we have the ability to do so. The biggest holdback was getting the inventory, which everyone went through the last few years, and then earning it. But the last year and a half, we've been earning it. We're earning it hard, and a few times we went out and bought cars, kind of, you know, what you have to do, but we're not at that point anymore. The factory's giving us cars because we're showing that we can sell them.
Yeah.
Right? And they'll give us more.
Yeah. So let's just keep going. I want nothing but a great success story for this little dealership in Red Springs that we turned into this massive location, and beat all the odds, and nothing but to help you on this journey to accomplish that, John. And I really appreciate your partnership.
I can't thank you enough for what you've done with TECOBI and being there for us and helping us. And I can never articulate or put into words what the relationship, the partnership, and what TECOBI has done for us. I would never be able to I can't express enough my gratitude for that, and what it's done for us, you know, as collaborators, business partners in this, what it's done for us in making this store successful and move on. I mean, I know your dream's not to be a car dealer, but I know you like to win, and that's what we're doing. And we need to keep going.
Yeah, let's keep winning.
Okay.
All right, brother. I appreciate it.
All right, man. Thanks.